Hey there, friends. It's Elizabeth here from the Everyday Storyteller, and I am back with week 2 in my digital 8x10 project life. As you can see, I am working with my digital plug and play template. The simple version of this template is available as a freebie over on last week's Patreon video, and the full plug and play template is available through my Patreon shop. So if you're interested, definitely go check that out. Right now, I am just repositioning some pockets. I definitely call those rectangles pockets because that is definitely what I am emulating here on this spread is the different pockets in a pocket page card. For this particular week, I am working with the Labels Scrapbook Kit by Ali Edwards. So you're going to see me using some things from there. The scrapbook kits, the quarterly scrapbook kits by Ali Edwards, do not come with project life cards. So I'm excited to show you how I use the things that do come into the kit to create my own project life cards. So the first thing that I do for any layout, specifically one that is digital, is I will go ahead and lay out the photos that I think I'm going to use. So you're going to see that these photos actually do change, the ones that I'm adding here onto this particular layout, but I may change the size, but I usually keep the specific photos that I want to add for the week. You're going to see over here that I'm using one of the large 7 by 8 1/4 inch pieces of paper, and I am using my rectangular marquee tool to crop it into a 4 by 6. So I just took the rectangular marquee tool and created a rectangle at the bottom, made a copy, and added that to my 4 by 6 to kind of make a perfect 4 by 6 card. Now I'm going to get one of the pattern papers that says a bunch of sentiments. I don't remember what this one is called, but it has a bunch of really fun sentiments on here and kind of like labels. And I went ahead and used my rectangular marquee tool to cut out digitally one of those labels. It says such a fun time, and I'm going to be adding that to the right side of my layout as a journaling card. You're going to see me center that right here. I'm also going to take the background rectangle and make it the same color as the blue of the label that I pulled out of that particular piece of cardstock, just so that it matches a little bit more. Now, I am going to also create a couple of DIY pocket page cards, and I do that by using a label. You just saw me take those out. That was actually um, a group of labels that was available in the label story kit, and I'm going to use that as a base for some of my journal cards. Oh, I did want to mention that I used the digital version of I think it was the tech story kit from like 2018. There is an iPhone template in there, and I went ahead and grabbed that and added in this screenshot. I watched the Ali Edwards 2024 year in review, I think it was called, and I took a screenshot of Lisa and Ali talking, and I wanted to add that into my album. So there's a screenshot of Ali and Lisa in my album. Um, you can see that I was a little bit lost, not lost, but I was experimenting a little bit with this particular layout, specifically because it has no pocket page cards in the kit that I'm using. So I have to create my own, and since it has that huge paper with a bunch of labels on there, I try out a couple of those as pocket page cards. You can see I wanted to put this purple one here, but I end up changing my mind just because it was a little bit too much color. And I did turn my photos into black and white specifically so that I could use a lot of color, but I still felt like adding the purple to the left side was just a little too busy, a little too much color. Um, so instead, I am going to go ahead and use one of the label die cuts from the kit and also one of the pattern papers and create a couple of journaling cards from those. I'm going to do that right after I kind of try to figure out what to do with that square photo of my husband and my daughter. But you're going to see that I use that asterisk, I think it's called an asterisk, paper, and I am going to fill up one of my pocket page spaces with that and then add a label on the top of it so that I can use it for journaling. And I go ahead and do that 2 more times. So I have a total of 3 cards that look the same. They have the asterisk background with that large die cut label on top. And that just gives a little bit of continuity to my spread, which I really liked because I felt like with all of the colors and all of the photos that it needed something to kind of tie it together. I went back to this label sentiment page and pulled out this really vibrant remember this sentiment. It's in like in rainbow color. And I'm going to go ahead and use that as an embellishment for the card with the live from Allie and Lisa. And I think that that worked really well. I didn't have much to say about that other than I saw the live. So I think it was fun to add a little bit of an embellishment, and it was a way to add some more color without it being too in your face. And I should note that the whole reason that I am using this labels scrapbooking kit is definitely because of this one pattern paper that says love and all those gorgeous pastel colors. I saw that one, I immediately bought the kit, the digital kit, and then I wanted to use it in this particular spread. So I'm really glad that I was able to add it as my title card. You just saw that I used one of the digital label stickers to add my date on top. And now we're going to move on to these circle label pattern cards. So this is a pattern paper, a 12 by 12 pattern paper that has a bunch of circle labels. One of them goes 1 through 3, and I need that because the 4 by 6 card is labeled 1 through 3. So I went ahead and used the circular marquee tool. So if you right click on the rectangular marquee tool, you will get the circular marquee tool. And I am going ahead and using that to cut out these circles. And then I am using my rectangular marquee tool to cut off the bottom of the circles. So I now just have the half circle part that says the number. So I just have the 1, 2, and 3 instead of having the entire circle that was included on the digital paper. So that is how I am going to label my photos for those particular stories that belong on that 4 by 6 card. You're just seeing me go through some of the word phrases that were included in this kit. I'm going to scatter them on some of the photos that I have. Usually I work in groups of 3, but for this particular spread, I went all out and I decided to put more than 3 of those word phrase stickers everywhere. And then I go ahead and use the asterisk paper as my jumping off point to go ahead and use an asterisk embellishment. So this asterisk embellishment is from, I believe, the December Daily Alpha set. It's a really cute asterisk, and I'm just recoloring it and resizing it to fit in various places across the spread. You're going to see that this changes a little bit because I end up completely changing this spread around when I realize that I forgot a super important story. So there it is. I am essentially creating an insert inside of my weekly pocket page. So if you think of this as a regular scrapbook page, right? You would have both sides of your pocket page spread. And if you wanted to add anything else that didn't fit in the pockets, you would create an insert that would go in between, right? Well, I am kind of doing that. So the left side of this page will be first. This will be the first part of my week 2 spread. The right side of this page is going to be kind of like my full 6 by 8 insert. And then when you turn the page, it will be the second or the back side of the insert plus the continuation of the pocket page spread. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain. Um, so I'm pretty much kind of using the one side of each particular spread as the insert, so to speak, in my digital pocket page album. And you're going to see that I kind of have this rule that the insert page, that's in air quotes, you can't see it, but it's in air quotes, can't be a pocket page spread. It's got to be kind of like a scrapbooking or full page layout. So I kind of have that rule for myself. The story that I completely forgot about adding into my pocket pages is our 20-week ultrasound for our second daughter. So not that I forgot that story, I just forgot it happened during that week because I didn't have any photos on my phone from it. So, you know how that works sometimes. So I went ahead, took photos of all the ultrasound pictures, uploaded those into my computer, cropped them, and now I am using what you saw was the December's years past. I will have that kit linked. It was from last year. It's the Pam Baldwin Christmas kit, and it has some photo strips in there, and I'm going to use one line of photo strips to have all of those photos of the ultrasound, and then I'm going to be using uh, this memory pattern paper. And I am just going to create my own version of that pattern paper. You know that I love to make all of my digital elements work for me, so this should not surprise you. I am making that pattern into one that works for me. So I went ahead and just used my rectangular marquee tool to cut out all of those little labels and place them where I wanted them on my page. I'm also going to use a couple of digital stamps. One of them said like this week, and then this one says Christmas 2020, but I only needed the week and the 20 because this is a story of the 20-week ultrasound. So I'm just going ahead and using my eraser tool to erase what I don't need, and I'm going to use the style option to overlay these digital stamps with that same navy color that is on the left side of this particular spread. So that is what I did there. For the left side of the second spread for week 2, I went ahead and did that off camera only because this is a template that was part of Allie's Week in the Life for last year, and I didn't really want to give you guys like spoilers or let you know some of the tricks that I have of doing of dealing with that particular template when it's not mine and you do have to pay for it. So essentially, I just went ahead and added some screenshots from January so far into that spread and then put it onto my week 2 spread B, which is what I call the second spread for week 2. And now I'm just showing you how I add those into my BookWrite program. So this is the program that Blurb uses to print out the books, and I'm just showing you exactly what settings that I am using for this particular book. I'm trying a photo book at the 8x10 size. I believe I try the premium luster paper and then the hardcover image wrap for the front or the cover of the book. I'm labeling it with my project title, really simple, 2024 Project Life, and then I create it and I can add my photos now. So I'm just going to take all of my weekly spreads. So week one's one spread, and then week two's A and B spread. So the ones that we just created, and I'm going to add those into my BookWrite book. Um, for each one of those, since I upload them as a single spread, not as like a single page, but like as a 2-page spread so that I can work on them more easily, I go ahead and do that same thing when I'm adding them into BookWrite. You do have to acknowledge that you are going over the binding, but since my templates have like a guide so that I'm not actually putting any important information along those guides, I always just ignore and everything turns out fine. As you can see, I'm looking in my preview and everything looks splendid. I'm really happy with what I have done so far. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it gave you a couple of ideas whether you're hybrid scrapbooking or digital scrapbooking, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.